Hello, friends. How you doing this morning? So I want to tackle a topic. It's actually probably the number one question I get at real estate meetups, sometimes online is, what would you do if you had to start over? When you spend 15 years doing something and it works out, and then you go out and talk about it. You're often talking to new investors and they're like, okay, you know, if you were me, what would you do? So this happens so frequently that I've spent the last couple of days kind of trying to get my thoughts around, what I would do. And just so you know, I am trying to be more active on Bigger Pockets. So this actually started off as a blog. So I wrote and posted in the forums. I think it's this just starting or starting out forum. Michael Zuber, that's who I am. And if you want to send me a colleague request, I think that's what they call them, please do. I am going to try to post 3 to 4 times a week on Bigger Pockets. I was very frequent earlier, but have not been of late. So that's something I'm going to try to do. So if you're on Bigger Pockets, do me a favor, send me a colleague request. Let me know that this stuff is working. And just so you know, this started out as a written blog, but I'm going to go through the 6 steps right here. So if, it's 2019, I'm starting over, I have zero rentals, what would I be doing? And as you'll see, the 6-step process is not revolutionary. There are no shortcuts. Again, this is, what would I do if I was building a buy and hold rental portfolio again? This is what I would do. So step 1 is I would aggressively cut our monthly expenses. I've told this story many times. We were living paycheck to paycheck back when I was 30, spending 100% of what we make and not really having anything to show for it. Some interesting stories and some stuff, but just wrong. So we eventually over years got it down to 50%. We were spending, basically we got very clear on what was a need versus a want. All of our needs were taken care of. But I would be far more aggressive starting over. I would try to take it to 50% as fast as possible. It would be uncomfortable. It would be uncomfortable for sure. And there'd be lots of whining and lots of stuff going on. But in the past, I think it took us about 4 years to get from spending 100% to spending 50. I would try to get there in a year or a year and a half, because this all starts with, you have to earn, then you save, and then you invest. So I would do my best to reduce and get rid of wants and just focus on needs. So that's step 1. I know it's not sexy. I know it's uncomfortable. Sacrifice is not a popular topic with social media, but that's what I would do. Step 2, I would go to the earn side of the equation, and I would try to figure out how I can earn more during my day job. So for me, that would mean probably changing jobs. I would probably go get a very highly leveraged sales comp plan. I would be an individual contributor versus being a sales leader. The only way you make money in the sales game is to be the number, in the top 5 salespeople for a company. When you do that, you often make more than the CEO without stock options. Let's not pretend, right? But as far as a yearly salary goes, if you're in the top 5 salespeople, you'll make a lot of money in most companies. So that's what I would do. Now, naturally, I was a salesperson. I ran multiple teams. But if I wanted to make more money, I would stop being a manager and I would go be an individual contributor. And I would spend every waking hour trying to crush that job. I would network more. I would get more leads. I would just do more. For some of you, that might mean, if you're not in a sales job where commissions is 50% of your earnings, maybe that would mean getting a second job on the weekend. It would mean working 7 days a week. It would mean doing more, right? This thing is earn, save, invest. Okay. I know it's uncomfortable, but you asked me what I would do. So I would focus on, first, cutting expenses, and 2, earning a lot more money. Okay. Now to probably what you were hoping I would say. Step 3, I would find an hour to 90 minutes a day to learn my market of choice, right? In this case, my market would still be Fresno. I would spend 60 to 90 minutes every day looking at the MLS, Realtor.com, Redfin, Zillow, whatever it happened to be. And I would try to figure out the market. I teach this in my course, but I would do this every day. And over a 60 to 90 day window, I would start to really learn my market. I would start to understand the market better than probably most agents. But most importantly, I would understand my market from my buying criteria, which is unique, right? I want to understand the return on my money, right? How hard is my money working? And we go over this in the course, but that's what step 3 would be all about that. It would be understanding in my market and understanding what a bad, average, good, and great deal are. And I would start to see that. More importantly, in step 3, I would understand that 98% of the stuff listed is not for me, right? Just doesn't fit. It's a bad or average deal. I don't want any of those. But the other 1 or 2%, the good or great deals, again, for my criteria, I would start writing or start understanding what offers would make sense as I kind of went forward. So again, step 3 is about learning my market and understanding where bad and great deals are on the scale. While I'm doing that, step 4 is I would try to grow my network. Somebody said it, Jim Ingersoll said it to me the first time I heard it, was your network is your net worth. So I would try to meet 2 to 4 new people a week in my market. I would ask for referrals. I would ask for who's the best of this or that. Who do you know? I would do all of that. In today's day and age with texting and FaceTimes and email, it would be so much easier than when I started way back when. In addition, in step 4, I would make sure my credit's right so that I can get the best interest rates possible. You know, today I'd be getting something with a 4, which is crazy. I was doing 7 and 8s when I started. To get something in the 4, locked in, 30-year fix, outstanding. And then I would be making sure my down payment's ready. Right? I want to put some skin in the game. I've always been a conservative investor and I wouldn't stop now, just starting over. Right? My step 1 and 2 is cutting expensive, growing income. And that step 3 of that earn, save, invest is I would start to get ready. So step 5, I'd start writing offers that took any good or great deal and made them all great. I would write lots of offers. I would probably look for every 10 to 12 that I wrote, I'd get a response on one of them, right? A counter, because I want to make sure that the one rental at a time strategy works, right? I want to get the first one and I want it to be a great deal. And then I want to get the next one, hence one rental at a time, right? And again, it's earn, save, invest. And then step 6 is I would just hold on as long as I could, right? You're sacrificing at step 1, you're busting your butt in step 2. You keep learning your market in step 3. Step 4, you're always having your down payment and credit and growing your network, and you're writing offers in step 5, and you're just repeating one rental at a time, and you would go from there. So that's what I would do. I wrote about this again on Bigger Pockets. If you're on Bigger Pockets, send me a colleague request. I'd love to connect with you. If you have any questions about this 6-step process, let me know. Step 1 and 2 is entirely in your control. Step 3, learning the market, I think that's unique. I think I do offer some experience there, and I've created that course to help people. It's cheap. After the coupon, it's $149. But again, you got to hold on, right? The first time through, it took us 15 years. I would think this time, knowing what I know now, I could get done in 7 or 8 years. Again, starting right now in today's seller market that might be rolling over, I think this strategy works. So again, I thought I should answer this question, and because we get it so often. All right, have a great day. Take care.